They're nice, they're fluffy, they have substance, and make you a little bit delulu. But delulu is the salulu sometimes, babes. It's a cute, light, fluffy cover, but it's filthy. It's spicy. Oh, Holy Grail. Anyone that's like, oh, I want a good romance, this one is what I recommend. Because this book is romancing and made me fall in love with a fictional character. Jack has my heart. My darling, I love you, 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 I love you. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another book video, more specifically a book recs video. I got a comment from one of you guys saying, hey, do you have some book recs for like new readers, people that are getting into reading? And I was like, yes, I do. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some book recs for people that are getting into reading and don't know where to start. So I'm going to give you guys book recs that are like easy-ish for beginners to like dabble in to different genres. So I have for romance, sports romance, fantasy, and graphic novels, because that's one of them, those are like the main categories that I read. I also read self-help, nonfiction, memoirs. So let me know if you want more book recs. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it because I got a lot of things to share. All right, so here are all my books. We have romance, sports romance, fantasy, and graphic novels. I picked a few of my faves, but also I tried to think like easy enough, not too complex, light, fluffy, that can like get you into reading. And then, yeah, let me know if you guys want like a advanced reader books recs. Comment down below other book rec videos you guys want to see from me, because I love sharing my love of books with you guys. If you see my face oily, I gua shot. I'm trying to be that girl, but my version of that girl, because I am not high maintenance girly. So if you see my face oily, it's because I gua shot with some like face oil things. So yeah, but low-key I'm shining, so I'm not mad at it. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start romance. One author that I would recommend if you are getting into romance is Sarah Adams. Her books are very light, fluffy. I would recommend The Cheat Sheet. This book is basically between a footballer and her best friend. And basically they're in the friend zone, but they end up falling for each other. And it's so well done. It's such a light, fluffy read. And Sarah Adams, her romances are absolutely adorable, light, fluffy, and very easy to get into. So I would recommend anything by her. So The Cheat Sheet, Practice Makes Perfect. This is between a bodyguard and a girl that's trying to like spice up her life and find a boyfriend, and he helps her with that, but then they end up falling for each other. And then we have When in Rome. This pop star gets stranded in a small town, and yeah, it's so cute. They're really light and fluffy, and I feel like this could really get you in the romance genre. It's not too complex. It's light, fluffy, and super, super cute. Then we have Emily Henry. Now she does romances, but with life lessons and deepness and rawness. My favorite book by her is Book Lovers. Basically, this is between two writers who have to basically work together, but they hate each other in a small, cute town. And it's so cute. And I loved the character development of not only the main characters, but the background characters. And this is such a well-rounded romance that I absolutely loved. And I feel like if you want a romance, but also with some rawness and deepness, I feel like Emily Henry is your girl. She does no wrong. All of her books are super, super good. I just finished her newest book, and I absolutely ate it up. It was so, so cute. And basically it's about the two main characters, their significant others / fiancés break up with them and then end up together. Now they are like stranded, so they decide to live together, and then they slowly fall for each other, and they end up fake dating to make their ex-fiancés jealous, but then they end up slowly falling for each other. And it's so cute, so well done, and also just shows the realities of your life being into shambles after a breakup. And that book is so well done. So if you want some like romance, but also some deepness and rawness, I would recommend Emily Henry. We have Book Lovers. We have Beach read. A lot of people love beach read. And then we also have People We Meet on Vacation. These are cute, light, fluffy, and I believe some of these books are becoming movies or TV shows. So I think movies. So if you really like them, then you can also watch the show or movie whenever it comes out. Also we have Happy Place. A lot of people love this one. This one is basically all about friendship, relationships, basically friendships in your 20s. That's what I got from this book, and it's so well depicted and absolutely beautiful. So yeah, and also her covers are gorgeous. Then we have The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. Any book by Jenny Han is a very good, light, fluffy romance that you can get into. Basically, we follow Belly, who every summer goes to the cousin's beach house, and basically it's just summer vibes, cute. There's a love triangle. Let me know if you're Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah. I'm Team Conrad all the way. It's super cute, light, fluffy, and there's a TV show. So if you absolutely love the books, you can get into the TV show and follow the adventures. And also it just gives summer vibes. And this book series and TV show is like a nice little escapism, and a very light, fluffy, and I feel like it's a nice little series to start with. So yeah. Then we have Any Book by Ali Hazelwood. She basically does STEM romances, so mainly FMCs that work in the STEM, so sciencey stuff. You don't need to know sciencey stuff to get into these books. Her romances are so well done and so well written that you feel like you're in the main characters. My favorite book by her is Love Theoretically. This is Holy Grail. Anyone that's like, oh, I want a good romance, this one is what I recommend, because this book is romancing and made me fall in love with a fictional character. Jack has my heart. So I very much recommend Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This book follows Elsie, who needs the money, and there's this service where you can like fake date someone and get money. So she's like, okay. So she fake dates this guy. And the brother of the guy that she's fake dating is like skeptical and is like, this girl's trying to get his money. He doesn't know that they're fake dating. And she ends up having to work with the brother. And basically Jack's trying to uncover what's going on with her and the brother, and they end up falling for each other. It's so well done. This is like a nice little twist on fake dating trope. And it's so well done, so cute. I absolutely fell in love with a fictional man, and I would recommend Any Book by Ali Hazelwood. I'll kind of give you like the rundown on her books. They're mainly STEM, but she has been dabbling in new genres. We have Loath to You. This is like 3 little small books into one. So if you really want to get for your money, I feel like this is a nice book because it's like 3 into 1. We have Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. These are cute little light fluffy romances. Then we have Love on the Brain, which absolutely loved. And then we also have The Love Hypothesis. This is like a fake dating trope at work, and we love a good forced proximity. And then we have her first YA. This is very much Queen's Gambit, like chess players. And it's cute. It's really, really cute. And then we have Bride. This is a vampire X werewolf vibes. This gives very much Twilight vibes, but the world building is so well done in here. So yeah, I would recommend Ali Hazelwood if you're getting back into reading. I feel like she was one of the authors that I really got into when I was getting back into reading. So I would totally recommend. They're nice, they're fluffy, they have substance, and make you a little bit Delulu. But Delulu is the Solulu sometimes, babes. Then we have one of my favorite authors and my favorite book. We have the Brown Sisters series by Talia Hibbert. This series is super cute. It follows the Brown sisters. We have Chloe, Danny, and Eve, and you follow their love stories. They're so cute, so fluffy. My favorite one is Chloe Brown because I see myself in the main character. I ramble on about this book all the time, but basically it follows Chloe Brown, who is a plus-size Black woman with fibromyalgia, and she's trying to get out of her comfort zone, and she basically gets Red to help her do like a bucket list, and it's super cute, and I really see myself in the main character, so I always recommend this book. But this series is so cute, so fun. And they're really cute, funny, fluffy, and we love representation. So yeah, I will always recommend this series till I... Okay, now we're going into sports romance. I really got into sports romances. So if you like sports, hockey, golf, all that kind of good stuff, then these are for you. Maybe you'll love them, and maybe sports romance will be your thing. You never know. First sports romance I'm going to recommend is Collide by Bal Cabra. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I got this book when it wasn't even traditionally published. Now it is. And she just announced her second book. So if you want to read this book before getting the second one, do it, girl. Basically, this follows the FMC who is studying sports psychology, and she's forced to work with this very popular bad boy hockey player for her project. And they absolutely hate each other, but they slowly fall for each other. This book, really, I could not put it down. Absolutely obsessed. I read it digitally on my iPad, and then fell in love with this man. I fell in love with Aiden. Like, Aiden has my heart. And this book is so well done. I love their connection, how they slowly fall for each other. And she can do no wrong. Bal can do no wrong. And she just announced the second book in this series, and I'm so excited. So yeah, if you want a sports romance to make you all giddy and in love, we have one of my fave authors, Deanna Gray. She mainly does Black FMCs, which I see myself in the main characters, so I have to recommend. We have we actually have the Mendel Hawks series. This is sports romances. So we have Sunny Disposition, and then we have Team Players. This is book 1. This follows a grumpy hockey player and a sunshine gamer. They end up connecting through a game, and they don't even know what they look like. And a lot of things happen in here, but you see them slowly fall for each other. And there's so many tropes in here. I absolutely loved it. I read these books while I was on a cottage trip, and I was so into them that I would tell all my friends everything that's happening in this book. So not only did I read them, but basically my friends kind of read them too, because they were just so juicy. Then we have Team Players. Basically, these are 2 captains that have one bet, and they end up slowly falling for each other. And I ate this up. This one's spicy, okay? This is spice. This one's like cute, fluffy. This is spice. Filth. But I loved it. So I have to recommend. These are so cute and adorable, and I could not put them down. Absolutely in love. And Deanna Gray is one of my auto-buy authors. Actually, all of the authors that I'm showing, these are auto-buy authors. Like, these are authors that I read their one book by them, and I was obsessed and I was into it. So yeah. Then we have the Becca Max series. It actually starts with Consider Me. This is a hockey romance. I would recommend, but these are more hefty books. Like, they're like 500-page books. So if that is intimidating to you, maybe keep this in mind, like in your TBR, but maybe do little small, like 200, 300 pages, and then work your way up. Because these are beautiful hockey romances with spice, with rawness, with just goodness. So I had to recommend. So we have Consider Me. Oh, it's actually not in order. We have Consider Me, Play With Me, and Unravel Me. These are just such cute romances. Becca Mack knows how to do it. You really feel like you become the main character falling in love, and she does it so well. These books are like 500 plus pages, but they don't feel like it. Like, you just swim through it, you know? So I had to recommend. And we have Icebreaker. I feel like this is a book that like went viral on TikTok. This follows an ice figure skater and hockey player that have to work together. They absolutely hate each other, but they slowly fall for each other. It's a cute, light, fluffy cover, but it's filthy. It's spicy. Okay. So if you want a spicy hockey romance and you really want to, feel tingly in places, this is for you, babes. And this book is book 1 in this series. So we have Icebreaker, which is a hockey romance, and then we also have the second book, Wildfire. This is more like woodsy camp vibes, and then the third book is coming out, which is Daydream, and I'm so excited. The covers are beautiful, and they're by the designer Lenny Kaufman, which is one of my favorite designers. So if you want light, fluffy, but spicy, Hannah Grace is your girl. Do graphic novel, okay? Here are some graphic novels that I would recommend if you want to get into reading. First, we have the Heartstopper series. This series is my holy grail. If anybody's like, oh, I want a graphic novel to read, Heartstopper is your girl, because it's light, it's fluffy, it's super light and fluffy, but talks about some pretty interesting but also serious topics like sexuality, love, friendship, figuring out yourself, finding what you love, fighting for what you love, and all of that good stuff. This series follows Nick and Charlie in high school who fall for each other, and it's really, really cute. There's so many love. There's so much love in this book, and it's really light and fluffy, and I absolutely love this series. It's a graphic novel, and they're super pretty. And then this series also became a TV show on Netflix. So if you absolutely love the books, you have a TV show to go along with it. And I find that the TV show is so well adapted, especially because Alice Oseman is the one that wrote this book, and she directs the TV show. I feel like that's why it's also chef's kiss. I absolutely love the show, and I absolutely love the books, and I'm absolutely obsessed. I don't know how many times I'm going to say absolutely, but this is a nice little light, fluffy graphic novel that can get you into reading. And yeah. Also, if reading intimidates you, you can always do graphic novels, audiobooks. I'm an audiobook girly through and through. Let me know if you guys want me to do a video talking about different ways that I read and formats and all that kind of stuff. Let a girl know. But anyways, another graphic novel that I'm going to recommend is Wash Day Diaries. This book just made me feel so seen and made me think of my friend group. This follows a group of besties going through life in their 20s, trying to go out. There's also topics of friendship, love, depression, anxiety, hair struggles, and all of that good stuff. This graphic novel is absolutely beautiful and made me feel so seen. She's literally just getting her hair braided, and she's, going through life with her friends. And the graphics are absolutely beautiful, and I felt seen reading this book. Another one that I'll recommend is Hockey Girl Loves Drama Boy. Basically, we have a boy that is into drama and a hockey girl. They end up slowly falling for each other. It's super cute. I'm obsessed, and the graphics are absolutely gorgeous. It's basically black and white with a little bit of tint of blue. I couldn't put this book down. A lot of these graphic novels you can read in one go. They're so you just get smushed into it. It's an easy read. So if you want, you can start with graphic novels and then dabble into a little bit of romance, fantasy, and work your way up. And don't feel pressured to read anything, and also do what you want and go at your own pace. So yeah. Then lastly, I'm going to recommend as a graphic novel, we have Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. This is Greek mythology graphic novels. The imagery and designs are absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. It's super easy to read. It's beautiful. It follows Persephone and Hades and their love story, and it's absolutely gorgeous. This is the hardcover, but I have the whole series in paperback. And these are beautiful comics, and if you like Greek mythology, Percy Jackson, you'll love this graphic novel series. Okay, lastly, we're gonna get into fantasy. Now, fantasy is very fun, but it can be complex getting into it because there's a lot of world building. You're learning characters, and fantasies usually have a lot of characters, but you can always research, try to find no spoilers. And once you get into the world and the characters and it's so well done and so beautiful. So here are my easy-ish fantasies to get into if you're starting to read or getting into reading, if that makes sense. So first series that I'm going to recommend is Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. This series had me delulu, and this series felt like a vivid dream. I just plopped into the book, and wow. Basically, this follows Angeline, who was in love with this man, and the man is getting married, and now she basically kind of hires Jack, the Prince of Heart, who's a bad boy, to help her out with that. A lot of things happen. This fantasy series. It's light, it's fluffy, but there's also just some rawness and beautifulness, and it's so good. It feels like a vivid dream, and you get lost in these books. My favorite book in the series, The Ballad of Never After. When I tell you I almost read this book in one sitting, like I couldn't put it down, and the ending had me shooketh. So we have, in the series, we have Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, and then the third book is A Curse for True Love. Don't ask me why the third one is big like this. I don't know. But also the covers are really beautiful. This is the UK covers that I got on Waterstones, I think. So yeah. Then we have the Cruel Prince series. I have a whole video of me reading these books, and I reacted to these books on short form and on here. Basically, this follows Jude, who gets dragged into this fantasy world or fae world, and it's beautiful, it's magical. What makes this feel so good and so easy for a new reader is you follow Jude, who is a human, who is from the human world, and gets enthralled into the fae world and is learning about the world, the prince, the fae hierarchy. So I feel like you follow Jude as she's learning this fantasy world, and you end up learning the world too. There's also a love interest who is the Cruel Prince. This is the Folk of Air series, and if you really love it, this is a fun, nice fantasy to get into. So yeah, so we have the Cruel Prince, the Wicked King, Queen of Nothing. There's also little tiny novellas in between, and then there's also like a continuous, I guess you could say, with the Stolen Heir duology, and it's super good. Such fun books. And if you want to get into this series, you can also watch my video and kind of read it with me, if that makes sense. So yeah, or you can like check out my short form where I react to different parts of the book, and you can kind of like read a little bit and then check out my videos. I think it could be really fun. So yeah. Basically, this follows Peyton and Kai. Peyton is a thief, an ordinary, and a survivor, and Kai is a prince and elite. Basically, in this world, we have the elites who have powers and that are like, you know, high class, and then we have just the ordinaries who don't have powers. Basically, if you don't have powers, you're seen as a nobody. And every year there's like a competition, I guess you could say. It's kind of like Hunger Game vibes. And somehow accidentally Peyton gets into it. She kind of has a little power, like she can foresee, I forgot what it's called. And basically she ends up meeting the prince, who is a bad boy, but she ends up meeting the prince, and she ends up in the games as well. This gives very much like Hunger Games, fantasy, romance, and this book just had me, I couldn't put this book down, and I fell in love with Kai so hard. Like, he sounds so hot. This is also a YA, so if you're not a person that's into spice or don't want spice, this is for you. But the sexual tension between them, it felt like it was spice. But that was, so good. And I feel like this is a pretty easy book to get into because it is fantasy, but there's little elements of magic, but nothing too complex. You understand the world pretty easily, and I'm obsessed with this book. And this is one of my favorite fantasies, and it's pretty easy to read. So I had to recommend Powerless by Lauren Roberts. She can do no wrong. We have Fourth Wing. I feel like everybody talks about this book. Basically, this is it gives very much Harry Potter vibes, dragon vibes. Basically, you follow Violet, who has to go to this like magical school with dragons. There's hierarchy and different stuff that happens. I'm really bad at explaining stuff sometimes, especially complex fantasies. This book, it is complex in the sense that there is way more world building than the other fantasies that I said, but once you get into it, it's very good. I'm a person that like when the world building is too complicated and there's too many characters, I get lost. It's still, the writing is so well done that you kind of, you get it, you know what I mean? And this is so good. If you like dragons, fantasy, Harry Potter, you basically follow Violet that goes to this school to train to become basically a warrior, and there's dragons, there's love, there's everything in here, and it's so well done. It is a pretty hefty book, I will say, but once you get into it, it's pretty good. So far, there's Fourth Wing out, and then there's also the second book Iron Flame. They're pretty hefty books, but once you get into them, they're pretty good. So I would recommend. But this is like, maybe get into these fantasy books before you get into this one. This one, keep it in your TBR a little lower because like work your way up, you know? Because I had to. So yeah. Last little fantasy book that I'm going to recommend is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This basically follows two rivals, two stories, two hearts, and one fate. Basically, this kind of gives wartime vibes, and they actually worked in the same place, and they send each other magical letters by accident, and then they end up falling for each other. It's so well done. There's just little elements of fantasy, but it's like more real with little elements of fantasy. And it's so well done, so beautiful, so light, so easy to read. And it's beautiful. These are the UK covers. We have Divine Rivals, which is the first book. And then the second book is Ruthless Vows. The second book is Ruthless Vows, and this is a cute little duology that you can read. They're really easy to read, and the pages are beautiful. The story's just very light, fluffy fantasy with like a little bit of magic, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, that is all the books that I'd recommend if you are a new reader and you want to get into reading. These are books that are pretty light, fluffy, easy to get into, and then you can work your way up. Let me know if you guys want me to do like an advanced book read video where like if you're already into it, you know your genre, and you just want some more book recs to add to your TBR. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I rambled enough about books, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below other book videos, book recs, and vlogs and stuff that you guys want to see. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!